Good afternoon, Mr. Goat. Excuse me, you're blocking my laptop. Welcome to Coffee Break Tennis. Forget you, Guy. Hey, that's the name of the thing. Guy Forget, or Guy Forget, as I called him for years when I was younger. Where was I? Guy Forget has lashed out at Roger, or so it seems. That's what I saw this morning when I woke up through Yahoo News. But it looks like to me to be a little bit of fake news, or at least pushing us into clicking on it. And then I found another article searching the web today when I wanted to see some interesting tennis for you fetheads to hear about on the show today. And I noticed there's a lot of people out there kind of overhyping things to make them seem worthy of our clicks. And I just wanted to let you guys know, here at Coffee Break Tennis, the fastest growing, most watched tennis talk show in the world, we will not be spewing fake news. We will not be saying things just to get clicks. We're going to give you nothing but the goods here at Coffee Break Tennis, so you guys can rest assured you're in the right place and you've made the right choice. So let's dive right into this. Guy Forget, Guy Forget, forget you, Guy! Forget you, Guy! So this is from The Telegraph. Paris Masters tournament director hits out at selfish Roger Federer following withdrawal. Okay, so right there, that headline's kind of misleading. He hits out at the selfish Roger Federer. Who's calling him selfish here now? Is it in fact Guy Forget, or is it The Telegraph? And so I scanned through this, blah, 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 a bunch of stuff about how he surrendered #1 to Rafa. We already know that's official today. Rafa didn't lose to Chung. Here's the quotes. This is what here's a good, if you guys want to know how to read the media, this is how you do it. When you're reading the quotes, whatever they lead with, if it's nothing of significance, that means they've got nothing. And I dug to the bottom, so you guys don't have to. You imagine my disappointment, my frustration at Federer's withdrawal. I had his agent, Tony Godsick, founder of the Laver Cup. I had his agent, Tony Godsick, on the phone, who told me of his wish to recover because he's at the end of the role. The role, I don't know, he's French. This is going to sound a little weird, some of the English here. We take note of it. We have no other recourse against that. We are sad. Welcome back, Mr. Goat. It's my cat, Mr. Goat. We are sad about all the efforts that have been made for many, many weeks and many months to welcome Roger and Rafa into this room. That means they've been courting Roger, because obviously they know he's not going to play every tournament. And how can you compete with his hometown? I mean, come on. What kind of expectations are here? Unfortunately, Rafa will be alone. There are other great champions, but I'm convinced that Roger's Parisian fans will be very disappointed. So, not really anything there. Of course the fans are going to be disappointed. I don't see the hullabaloo. What, Mr. Goat? We're trying to get through this. Come on, help me out. Forget went on to question Federer's... Now, this isn't a quote. This is The Telegraph telling us what to think. Forget went on to question Federer's decision to prioritize a Masters 500 event in his hometown of Basel over a Masters 1000 event in Paris. He didn't say anything like that. He said, "The tennis player, by definition, looks at his own interest. What interests him less, he has to make his choices." So he's kind of implying it, but he didn't say that. At 36, we pay more attention than when we were 25. Nevertheless, I still think that the Masters 1000s are the 9 biggest tournaments of the calendar. I guess he's forgetting about the 4 majors. When a player, whoever he is, misses this appointment, it weakens the credibility of the circuit. I greet all those who make the effort, so some are a little diminished. Rafa's here. Others have made efforts. Some have had surgery. You can't get them out of a hospital bed. No kidding. When a player wins a tournament 500 kilometers away and is not there the next week, we are bound to be sad. Now, obviously, he's talking about Roger there, because, you know, he's in Switzerland, about 500 kilometers away, and he's not there. But come on, what do you expect? And like I said, where's the outrage here? He didn't say anything like what the headline led me to believe.
It's a scandal. It's an outrage.
Like, especially Yahoo News. They're the worst. I wake up, put the picture on the screen, I wake up and see that. Let me pull it up here so I can get a look at it for you. Paris Masters tournament director hits out at selfish Roger Federer following withdrawal. Oh, okay, so as you can see here, it says The Telegraph on the... So, Yahoo Sports, they just pulling it from The Telegraph. Mr. Goat, They're just pulling it straight from the Telegraph and giving it to us this morning without even looking at it, apparently. But, you know, it's all about clicks. Everything's about clicks. Don't worry, Coffee Break Tennis. I mean, we like clicks. Please click the thumb down there. Click the subscribe button down there. Subscribe to Crunch Time Coaching, especially if you're a tennis player. If you're a tennis player, you gotta subscribe to this channel, not just for the awesome Coffee Break Tennis that I'm giving you, which is free, by the way. This is a free service here. Not just for that, but we also get a lot of free tennis instructions. So if you're struggling out there on the tennis court, subscribe below, Crunch Time Coaching. We're going to hook you up. We're a tennis player's ultimate resource, a tennis player's best friend. We want you to have fun and win more matches on the tennis court, because that's what it's all about, right? If you like Roger, that's what it's all about. He wins, we like it. All right, so like I said, where is the outrage here? I don't see anything, so I'm sorry the title says, Forget You, Guy. Guy Forget, you're all right in my book. All right, next up we have got the race. Who's in the World Tour Finals? Who's out? Well, it was really funny because we went in with Sam Querrey and Pablo Carreno Busta. Well, Busta's already in. So, all right, throw up the rankings. The race, we'll throw it up on the screen for you. So, number 7 is, who is it? David Goffin, however you pronounce it. And then number 8, Carreno Busta, but Carreno Busta is out. He lost like right away. So he's in trouble. He's got the 8th spot, but Delpo's coming for it, baby. And Luca Pouille, the curious case of Mr. Pouille, he's got a shot at it too. Now, he's got to get to the finals to do it or win it outright. If he wins it, he's in. And there's one scenario where David Goffin, he plays tonight, so you guys might be watching this video after. He could have already lost. He might be out. But if David Goffin loses to Adrian Mannarino, which is always a toss-up, those guys' games are pretty similar. Mannarino takes the ball very early. I'd give Goffin's got a little more firepower, but you know, both of them aren't known for firepower. They're known for taking the ball early, moving really well, and being crafty. So that's kind of a toss-up match. If David Goffin loses, I'm not sure how you guys want to hear that. If he loses the match, he could be out. Him and Carreno Busta could be replaced by Juan Martin Del Potro. And of course, the very curious case of Luca Pouille. So, I almost forgot his name. Oh my gosh. Mr. Goat, you coming back up here? This is my last sip, so I'm not going to be able to close the show with a sip. Never mind, it's a little more than I thought. So, let's look at the numbers. We really don't have to look at many numbers, actually, and I talked a lot about numbers in last night's Halloween special, so I'm not going to get into too many numbers here. I'll just make it very simple. Busta is out unless Delpo and Pouille just get out of the tournament right away. It's really set up perfectly for Delpo. Pouille's got to get to the finals or win, and my favorite scenario, of course, is, although I like David Goffin, if he loses to Mannarino tonight, and Delpo loses in the final to Pouille, and Pouille wins the tournament, 7 and 8 going in are knocked out. So it's exciting. We don't have Roger and Rafa racing for the #1 ranking, but we got this. So who's going to get at 7 and 8? And usually, who cares about 7 and 8? In the World Tour Finals, 7 and 8, they got no chance. But Delpo's actually a guy who's got a chance. All right, what else do we have? Any more interesting news? Oh, yeah, we got something good today. All right, first off, let me just show you this one. I was talking about the fake news culture that we live in earlier. And, you know, I don't know about fake news, but I do know one thing. It's all about grabbing attention and getting clicks. And a lot of these things can be, at least the headlines, can be misleading. Sure, the meat of the story can be related to what they claim in the headline. But here's a great one. Look at this headline. This is from Express, home of the Daily and Sunday Express. Well, Express, it's from the UK. I've never heard of the Express, so maybe it's a rag, man. Maybe it's all bluster and fake news. I don't know. But I found this and I thought it was interesting. Roger Federer gets angry, all caps, you can see, put it on the screen, loses cool, smashes his racket in furious outburst. I don't know if they'll let me capture this video clip and show you, but he basically goes up to the net and goes and smacks the net. I mean, I literally do that probably every single time I play a tennis match. Most times. He misses, what was the score? I think they said, you know, he'd blown, you guys remember the final against Del Potro and the Basel final. You know, Roger blows that first set. He serves for the first set. He blows it. He loses in a tiebreaker where it looked like he had a good chance to win it. According to the article, he lost 6 points in a row, although I don't know if I can trust anything this article says. And then somewhere in the second set, he messes up on an easy winner. I think that's the ball that Paul Annacone said, I've never seen Roger miss a ball like that before. So he puts a put-away forehand right in the net, and he smacks the net. But look at this. Smashes his racket? I mean, that's blatant lying. So, my point with all this is, here at Coffee Break Tennis, you don't have to sift through the garbage. You don't have to worry about being lured in with clickbait. We're here to keep things real. We keep it real, real. And finally, today, because I got to get out to the courts and help Pete teach those kids, I got to teach the tennis kids, and I got Halloween candy that I have to get out of the house. I don't want to eat any of that candy, so I'm going to give it to the kids today, all of it, because there's like no trick-or-treaters in this neighborhood. It is kind of a scary house. We got a lot of trees. Trees are falling over. Maybe I'll put in a clip of, you guys can see the trees are falling. One of them smashed my barn, so I think I'll show you guys my barn where it got smashed by a tree. That's kind of interesting to look at, although it's not very good news for me. And finally, my last story. I don't know, Pete might get mad at me if I show you guys the images of nude tennis players, but I found this in the BBC News. This is pretty funny. Derbyshire, how do you pronounce it, UK people? Derbyshire nude charity tennis calendar runs into trouble. A risque tennis-themed charity calendar produced by a Derbyshire club has fallen afoul of internet giants. Facebook basically got rid of it. Meanwhile, 30 tennis clubs have turned down the offer of selling this calendar, which is raising money for Alzheimer's research. And these pictures are, maybe I can blur them out and put them on the screen. I mean, I get it. I like comedy. I think, you know, it's a good idea to try to make people laugh and raise money for a good cause, but come on. Most tennis players are in better shape than your average person who doesn't play tennis or work out or whatever. But, you know, if you get the ATP guys, the WTA girls, you got them semi-nude with tennis balls covering up their privates, you'd probably sell some calendars. You got these average Joe Schmoes and Jane Does out there. I don't think many people are in the market for that, even if it is for a good cause. But I'll let you decide, because here at Coffee Break Tennis, we don't tell you what to think about the news. We just present it and make comments on it afterwards. Well, that's all the time for me today, folks. Oh, I meant to get into some of your comments. Well, the music's still playing. Let me just run in a couple of these really quick. This one. If. What if Zverev wins the Australian Open? Then what's the point of all of this? Just views? I said, you know, it's fun to speculate. That's the point. It's fun. And then Chintan Parmar, sorry if I said the name wrong, he's commented a few times. I like him. He says, he already lost in Paris, laughing out loud. I said, thumbs up to that, brother. I hope everyone thumbs that up. If you haven't seen, click up here to watch my Halloween special where we talk about, will Roger ever get to #1 again? It's not clickbait. It's a good question, and it's fun to talk about, especially when Roger's not playing. He's not playing this week. Where you gonna watch? You gonna watch Sock and Edmund? It's actually a pretty good match. It's on right now, by the way. Edmund's up 4-0 in the third set. What happened to Jack Sock? What else we got? I think Federer, this is from Scooz Express #9. I think Federer can win world #1 in 2018. Great video, Matt. I think Nadal will slow down. Djokovic and Murray will have a really, really bad start because they finished 2017 early. Yeah, I picked that one to talk about because I'm kind of expecting that too. Why haven't you been making videos, Matt? Gail McLean. Good question. Well, I was very busy with TennisCon in Texas. That's the last of the espresso. And, you know, I was not sure what to do with Coffee Break Tennis and how frequently I want to make it, so please comment below. Let me know, guys. How often should I make these videos? I'm kind of pondering the idea of making them, like, almost every day.